We now are going to turn to a lawyer for Abrego Garcia. Joining us now is Simon Sandoval Moshenberg. So many moving parts just this morning in less than the last 24 hours. Let's start with just your reaction to the latest government filing saying they need more time.
I'm quite disappointed. I mean, last night the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 with no dissent that they need to bring him back. I had hoped that after that, the government would finally start acting in good faith. But it seems that they're determined to try to kick the can and play games with this. I'm very reassured, though, that the district judge is not playing games with this and recognizes that a man's life is at stake here because, she ordered them to provide a declaration this morning explaining what they've done so far. Now, I expect that declaration, when they actually get around to filing it, is going to say we've done nothing at all. And that's where the district judge is going to have to really get on them to actually get started here.
So what they have filed this morning was asking to reschedule the hearing on the matter until Wednesday, as we just reported. It sounds like this is their response to her questions at this point, which is, we don't have the answers. You got to give us more time. It sounds like a delay tactic to me. Is that how you read it?
It is, unfortunately. I mean, they need to, at the very least, come into court this afternoon and say what they've done so far and say what their plan is in detail, right? And one of the things that the Supreme Court order did was explain that they have to give the judge information, right? So they're not just going to be able to come into court and say, okay, we're working on it, but we can't tell you anything at all. The Supreme Court did order that they give the district judge information about what they're doing and how they're doing it.
In fact, I think these are the specific orders that she gave. She directed the government to provide the current physical location and custodial status of Abrego Garcia, what steps, if any, defendants have taken to facilitate Abrego Garcia's immediate return to the U.S., and what additional steps they will take and when to facilitate his return. As you look at it, what is the timeline here? Any sense of how quickly he could be returned to the U.S.?
I am confident that when the government finally starts acting in good faith in this case, they can do it in 24 to 36 hours. I mean, it's a 5-hour flight, right? And we have planes going down there on a near daily basis. Those very same planes can bring him back. They had all weekend and most of the day Monday under which they were under court order to work on this, to work on bringing him back. So for them to show up now and say, well, we actually haven't done anything at all yet, I don't think the district judge is going to take very kindly to that.
The Justice Department has been trying to claim that this is a good ruling for them, what the Supreme Court said, because they didn't say they had to effectuate his return. That, nuance of facilitate versus facilitate and effectuate. In fact, the Justice Department is saying that, according to the Supreme Court's ruling, it recognized that it is the exclusive prerogative of the president to conduct foreign affairs. Do you fear that they may not ultimately bring him back to the U.S.?
I certainly fear that they're going to play games with this as much as they can, but I'm also confident that the district judge is not going to have any patience for them playing those games. I think there's really when it comes down to it, there's no one in this country who actually believes that it's true that the United States of America is powerless over the government of El Salvador, over this particular facility. We put Kristi Noem inside the walls of that prison, and we got her out, right? So why can't we get Kilmar Abrego Garcia out?
That's a good question, but the Justice Department continues to dig in. It sounds like, my understanding is, if the judge in this case, the district judge, rules in your favor as this proceeds in that venue or that jurisdiction, wouldn't the Trump administration have the option to appeal again, and this ends up back in the Supreme Court?
They have to at some point, and now is the time for them to stop playing these delay games, to stop, treating this as a political football. This never needed to go to the Supreme Court in the first place. This is one guy who's a sheet metal worker from Maryland. This didn't need to become a big national case. And they can just pull back and start acting in good faith here. If they start being reasonable, we'll be reasonable, right? I mean, once they start showing that they're actually moving on, in a good faith manner on getting him back, we're not going to keep jamming on them. We're just going to make sure they actually continue to work and do what needs to be done here. But so far, there's not been one sentence of explanation as to what they've done or what they plan to do to actually effectuate the judge's order, which was affirmed 9-0 by the Supreme Court. It is not the case that they can do nothing. That much is now clear after the Supreme Court's ruling.
I spoke to Abrego Garcia's wife, Jennifer, earlier this week. She didn't have answers to give her kids when they asked when their dad was coming back. How's she feeling now after the Supreme Court's ruling?
It's been a heck of a night and a morning. I mean, it's been quite a yo-yo of emotions for her. I think that, I mean, she definitely feels vindicated that the decision of the Supreme Court was unanimous. But, you know, now at this point, it really is up to the government to actually recognize that we're dealing with, you know, human lives here and not just sort of an abstract political issue.